I was reeling because you have pulled off being me.
Exactly. Not many people know that, but that it
Half
was you.
those lines I have said in real life. There's my wedding photograph where they've just chopped off my head and put yours.
Yeah.
Karan told me you've dressed like me, and I'm
Yeah,
like, oh
yeah.
my God, what's happening? How the hell did that happen? One day I actually told him that line where, you know, women have to do all the work, and what do you guys have to do? What's your contribution to making a child? You just make a face like, oh, and that's it.
Yeah.
And he's taken that and put it in the movie.
I know. When he told me that, I was in shock.
I always feel that when you're a kid, you want to be a scientist, you want to be a pilot, you want to be, you know, different things, but actors want to be all of these things, so they choose the easiest path and just act.
But I think being an actress is also, I mean, you've been an artist, you know that, and I think people say, okay, it's the easy way out. I think it's extremely tough also.
I don't think it's easy at all.
Yeah.
I just could not do it. Girls from the Kapoor clan were really not allowed into the movies. So how did you convince them? Did you just hide their whiskey and kebabs and said, let me into the movies or I'm not going to let you eat and drink?
No, I think that mom also was, you know, very, very supportive. And obviously when my father got to know that Lolo wanted to be an actress, he was a little upset first. But also a lot of people who know my father know that he's extremely, I think he's very, very open-minded. He's more like a friend.
And there was no pressure. You didn't feel, okay, my sister is, you know, really at the top of her game. She's fabulous. Am I going to be as good as her?
That
Sibling rivalry, competition?
No competition and rivalry as such, but I think the pressure of coming from this family and that girls normally don't become actors, and Lolo had, you know, achieved a lot and done so much that there was that, you know, pressure that, okay, fine, what is she going to do? Is she going to be able to do it? And mom was always like, but my two girls are like my two tigresses, you know, they're like my two boys. And, you know, mom's always been like that. What's the difference between a girl and a boy? I'm telling you, like, I am actually, it's so strange. I'm romancing all of Lolo's co-stars. It's so weird because, like, Akshay's first shot, I was like in my school uniform.
In fact, a lot of things happened to you on the set. You met Saif on the set. And strangely enough, I was there watching you, both sitting next to each other. You all were both wearing hideous blonde wigs, so love really is blind.
Yes, exactly. Including your husband was wearing slightly more
but
orange.
Nobody fell in love with him on that set, right? It's like two of yours.
Akshay was wearing a dog on his head.
Yeah. How did it all happen?
Some kind of a karmic connection in a way, because Saif and me were always supposed to do a couple of films together, which we never ended up doing. And I always said no to them, and then we just, you know, never did a film. And finally then, you know, this movie just happened, and yeah, I don't know what it was. Saif and Akshay were talking, and Akshay kind of got the vibe that Saif and me were like connecting, and Akshay took Saif in the corner and he was like, listen, tread carefully, because they're dangerous girls and this is a dangerous family. I know them, so dekh ke rahe.
So that's a good piece of advice, right?
He was like, you know, don't kind of mess with her.
I was getting married, I asked Saif for some advice back in the day, and he did give me some advice, which I'm not going to really disclose right now. Which was pretty sensible, and it worked out. It worked out like that, yeah. So I have to say that he is kind of wise.
He is wiser than me.
You're a very different people. What do you talk to him? What do you talk to him about?
I think, you know, it's not just, I think a lot of people don't know Saif in a way. Yeah? He's funny, he's humorous. People obviously, again, because he comes from a privileged background, and, you know, probably he comes from this royal family, so people have this thing that he has this attitude or he has this chip on his shoulder. And in fact, he's the most basic guy I think one could ever find. Like, he's quite like chilled out. He wants to eat dal chawal mirchi for lunch.
Okay. So Bebo, from what's your iconic line, "Main apni favorite hu."
Oh God.
So now there's another favorite. How do you feel about that?
I don't know.
Do you cook for him?
No, but Saif cooks for him.
But did you eat a lot when you had an excuse, like when you were pregnant?
I put on 25 kgs.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, do you have a nanny?
Yeah,
or
of
do you
course.
manage him?
I have to. I would not have managed working without the help that I have. And I'm not a robot or a super mom, and there's no crown for being the best mother in the world. That's what Saif told me. He was like, please stop it. It doesn't exist. Every mother's journey is different. You want to work, you need help, and there's nothing wrong with it. And because I think earlier I was like, you know, immature, and I would make statements, and I would be like, you know, open and brash, and be like, if I was angry with someone, I would say it.
And now you don't.
I think now it just happens. Like you said, you know, you just grow this steel body on you, and you just have to go on if you need to sustain this time here. The only thing we know is that we come and we go, and I've never held on to my success or, you know, my failures. they're all transient, so I'm fine with it. I want to hold my family, my husband. That's, you know, these are things that I hold in the highest regard in my life. This is my family, and that's it, and which I will protect. Of course, my career is there, but it might end one day. I hope not. I'm going to try my best.
No, yours is not going to end.
Yeah.
You're going to be 75 and still giving your shot.
Well, if I'm 75, I know one thing, that I'll be working with Akshay Kumar for sure, because he'll still be working. I'm telling you, he's already planning some 2-hero film with Taimur. He's already told me that. So you can imagine.
What, you're training wheels? It's not so bad.
What do you mean? So you're going to be backseat?
No, hop on. I'm
You
not going to
don't
take a
trust me,
chance.
is
Of
it?
course not.
Listen, I'm not that bad, huh, guys?
Let's try.
Do I get another hamper for doing this?
I promise you one more hamper with a toaster that has your face on it. Let's go. Okay. Very good, baby. Chalo, chalo. Very good.
You said I'm